Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back, BigJon TV. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Got an awesome video for you today. We're totally going out of rotation, jumping in to get this one on today because it's a very important and timely item.
Yes, today is Burns Night. I guess tonight is Burns Night. It's Burns Night. You know what Burns Night is?
It is. I know who Robert Burns is. He's a very famous Scottish poet.
Yes, he's known as the National Bard, the Bard of Ayrshire, Plowman's poet. Basically, he's like the poet from Scotland.
Right.
He was born in 1759 and only lived to be 37, but he wrote a ton of poems that are still like read today. He wrote Auld Lang Syne, lots of very famous songs and poems.
So there's a big thing in Scotland that's called a Burns dinner.
Yes. And
the traditional food that is served at a Burns dinner is haggis.
Because Robert Burns even has a whole poem dedicated to haggis.
Yep. So we found this at a not so local butcher shop. It's actually in Berkeley, California. A little bit of a drive for us. Special order. They do these once a year. I saw the ad and I'm like, you know what? We're doing that. So we went today and picked it up. Awesome little butcher shop. So then you get it home and it's boil.
So they suggested two different methods online. They suggested either putting it into a cold pot of water and bringing it to boil till it's to a nice temperature inside because it is pre-cooked.
Right.
The other option was roasting it in the oven. I kind of did a mixture because we were in a rush.
Yep.
So I boiled it a bit just to bring the temperature up and then put it in the oven to kind of dry it off a bit.
So it's basically, it is a bit boiled, a bit browned and crisped in the oven. And I think it's going to be fantastic. Do you guys know what haggis actually is? That's the question, right? So I just had it on my screen and then it went away. Okay, I found it. From their website, the local butcher shop. Haggis is essentially a sausage that is stuffed and cooked in a sheep's stomach. Their haggis is made with a lamb meat, heart, kidney, tongue, liver, stock, oats, barley, onions. It's seasoned with cayenne, thyme, allspice, pepper, lemon, salt, and Scotch whiskey, which would get cooked out when it gets cooked. No big deal. So it is basically just a big giant sausage, but it's mixed with things that aren't necessarily commonly
eaten,
highly desired.
Right.
Which ultimately, sorry for cutting you off there. That's what sausages and hot dogs typically are. It's the scraps, it's the leftovers.
Exactly.
It's the abnormal things.
Mm-hmm. And so I looked into like doing a full kind of Burns Night deal. You're supposed to have the haggis piped in, like a piper walks in ahead of it with the chef and everybody. Yeah. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance and a lot of like traditional things done in it that we just couldn't duplicate.
Also a lot of alcohol, which we can't replicate.
Lots of speeches and people toasting and things like that.
Because of a lot of alcohol.
I really, if we ever make it to Scotland, we'll have to go around January so we can go to a true Burns Night celebration.
Exactly.
But I think we will say the Selkirk Grace beforehand.
Okay. So again, this could have been and should have been a Funky Food Friday, but we wanted to do it on the actual Burns Day.
Yes.
Burns Night. So that's why it's on a Monday.
Mm-hmm. So the Selkirk Grace is...
You want to do it or you want me to do it?
Alright, go ahead.
Do it?
No, go ahead.
I know you didn't want to.
Oh, I don't mind.
Alright, so...
It sounds better in my head than when I actually say it out loud.
Some hae meat and cannot eat, and some wad eat that want it. But we hae meat and we can eat, say the Lord be thanked.
There we go.
So, that's the Selkirk Grace, and then you...
And then from there, you would have the pipers bring it in, and then you would recite Robert Burns' Ode to Haggis. And at the point where he speaks in the poem about killing the haggis, there's the portion of stabbing it with a knife, is when you would actually cut it open. So we'll go ahead and just cut it open now and pretend that we've all done that beforehand.
Alright, so there's a lot of theatrics that we're just
it's very theatrical.
Right? So then the traditional, the way I've, in my head, and what I've seen on TV before, is you open up the top like this.
You might have to poke it a bit. There you go.
So it's like a meat baked potato.
Right.
So then, boom. Traditional sides on a plate with haggis would be...
Okay, I'm not sure if you say it tatties or taties, but it's Neeps and Tatties, which are potatoes and rutabaga or swede or turnips. Basically whatever you can find. Traditionally, I think it's actually rutabaga, which is what we've gotten. So, here's our mashed. And so we're going to put a bit of that on here.
Oh, perfect.
So now we're going to serve a little bit on top of the Neeps and Tatties.
So it's not a slicing sausage, it's a scooping sausage, just like a mince.
You keep talking, I'm going to take a little picture here.
Yeah, I've been taking a big... Oh, that smells fantastic right now. If you don't follow us on social medias, these pictures are already on Instagram. So you'd have had a heads up, you know, the day before if you were following us. So.
Alright, so fork for you. Actually, you and I could probably use the same.
So, the different backdrop because we're at my parents', which means we're going to get other people to sample. Jess and I will do it first, and then we'll try to convince as many other people as we can, which I don't know how many. I don't know. Yeah. I know my mom for sure. That might be it. We'll see. So, Jess and I are going to go dig in first, so yeah?
Yeah. So, I'm going to get it with a bit of both. Big, healthy bite. Mm-hmm. There is nothing off-putting in that.
I'm gonna go just the haggis. The spices in there, the oats that are in there, that really has a really good, pleasant smell to it.
It does. It's almost like potpourri because it's so fragrant. The texture, I'm going to tell you, that was a little bit off-putting. It's almost like gummy.
There's like a very high fat content.
Right.
Like coat your mouth, but
overall the flavors are good. The thing that I think it needs is like some gravy over top.
It does need a little bit of some an onion gravy or something on top.
That would be fantastic.
Brown gravy would be fantastic, but this is delicious.
This
All
is
right.
really good. So let's see who else we can get to try it.
Yep. Cheers, Maddie.
Huh?
There's no whiskey in it. Have a bite. Fork there. Big old bite too. You can do it. So that is...
That part's good.
Hmm? You're good. You're all right.
It's good.
You heard us talking about how good it was. Well, now, we've had haggis before, but it was out of a can. Imported, and it was still missing the lungs, because we don't eat lungs here. But we love that. So this stuff is like way better.
I don't like it.
What are you tasting?
I don't know, I just don't like it.
Alright, fair enough. You didn't gag, you ate a bite. That's good enough. It's haggis. Good job, Maddie.
Okay, goodbye.
Alright, so Jamie is a little bit hesitant, but I think he's going to do just a little tiny bit. Pretend it's like a meatloaf or you love meatloaf. What if we offered you a little bit of ketchup on top? Would you eat it with ketchup? There's no way that had anything on there. You just can't do it? Are you sure?
Sure.
Come on, do it.
Try some of the potatoes.
I'm not doing it for the line.
Do it. Alright, so we are using different forks, but we're not eating enough to justify a whole new plate full. Now, have you ever had haggis?
Yes.
Okay. And did you like it?
I did.
Okay. See, it's no big deal.
Right.
That's why we are the way we are, because we
we try.
Well, yeah, we try. This is a good one, though. Like I said, the stuff we had before was out of a can, and it was still good. This is like way higher class, way fancier.
No, I'm seeing the herbs and the spices, and this little piece of whatever that is right there reminds me of what they put on corned beef, which is what, mustard seed,
Right. And peppercorns.
Yes. So I think that's mustard seed because it does remind me of corned beef and cabbage.
Okay. That makes sense.
Is it beef meat?
Lamb.
Is lamb?
Yeah, their version is lamb. I don't know if that's traditional. Like I said, this could be something.
Scottish is usually lamb.
Right. So, Made with lamb meat, the heart, kidney, tongue, liver, and then all the spices and the oats and everything else.
It's good.
Yeah. I wouldn't eat any of that stuff. I mean, the lamb I'd be okay with, but any of the other stuff by itself, I probably wouldn't take a bite.
I had lamb and beef gyro a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I like lamb.
Yeah.
But this doesn't even taste like lamb.
Nope.
When it's minced like this.
Right.
It also doesn't taste like organ meat.
Right. No, there's no mineraliness in there for me.
No.
There's no like, you know, penny taste, the metallic-y.
Right. It's
good.
not. It's probably factory processed.
No.
Is it? No.
It's
This
made
is
in a local small butcher shop.
This is a very high-end butcher shop. With
Okay.
like
All right.
super high-end, so.
Whoever did that did a great job. Yeah. It is good.
Yep.
I like it.
All right. Oh, you want a big old heaping? Hopefully you said. Now, have you had haggis before?
Yes.
Look, I'm going to keep eating too, because
Very mild.
you eat liver, but none of the other stuff we would eat. How are you on lamb normally? Not really.
No.
This doesn't taste like lamb. Doesn't taste like any organ meat to me. The fattiness,
It tastes like a mouthful of oatmeal.
yeah,
That's probably the texture I was getting. It's the slimy, like oatmeal
yeah,
feeling.
yeah, that makes sense.
Crystal likes it.
And there's undoubtedly oatmeal in it.
Yeah,
It's traditionally made in the stomach of a sheep.
And
Yeah.
this one is in a stomach also.
yeah, and they normally do 3 to 4 pounds, and I asked him for a 2 pound because we didn't need 4 pounds of this on the table, and he said yes, that they would use it from a further down on the intestine because it's smaller size. So anything smaller than this, they weren't going to be able to do because the intestines are just that big. So
She liked it.
the dogs are fans. So haggis is a winner for so far. I don't know who else is going to get to sit down, but we'll see. All right, so we cannot convince anybody else that's here tonight to join us. I tell you what,
It's really not bad.
no joke, no lie. This is delicious.
It is.
Absolutely love
It's
it.
really, really good. The texture was a little bit odd for me, just because it's so loose and a little bit slimy, I think, from the oatmeal.
Yeah, but realistically, 100% dead on. Delicious flavor.
Yes.
I
Now
love
this
it.
just makes me want to go to Scotland more and see it in real,
Right.
in first person.
So everybody that's watching this, you've probably already typed in or commented that we cooked it wrong.
And that we've done something
We've
wrong.
done horribly wrong, but comment down below anyway, again. I mean, how close is this to a traditional, ingredient-wise, I read it at the beginning. I think it sounds close. The only thing that we don't do in America is the lungs. But everything else is in there, so it's gotta be really close to authentic.
I feel like it is.
I mean, it's the closest it's gonna get in the Bay Area of California.
Yep. All right, I hope everybo's had a great Burns night.
Yeah, kudos to the local butcher shop. This isn't a sponsored gig at all. We did go buy this 100%. This is fantastic.
Yes, it is. All right, you can find BigJon TV on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Do all those things.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Send this to your Scottish grandparents that aren't here and they haven't seen it. I don't know.
That was a stretch. I don't even know where you were
I don't
going with
know
that. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cool. See you.
Bye.